And now, live from Isolation Station in Burbank, California, it's The Plague, week 54 of the Allison Rosen is Your New Best Friend show. Tonight, Allison welcomes her guests. He's a writer and comedian who genuinely sees and hears all of you, which is a constant waking nightmare. Please make it stop. It's Josh Gondelman. And she's a comedian, author, and treasurer of her local hot dog club. It's Alicia Tobin. Tone Zone is here to subscribe and smash that button. I'm her husband, Daniel, saying hop on board the love bus. Say hello to your new best friend, Allison Rosen.
Allison Rosen. Allison Rosen is your new best friend. Allison with her good times never end. Allison Rosen, doing the wavy pencil dance again. Allison Rosen, Allison's your new best friend.
Hello, my little Nanaimo bars. Welcome to another exciting episode of Allison Rosen is Your New Best Friend. That particular carbohydrate, which I may or may not be pronouncing correctly, we'll have to find out from our resident Canadian here, was sent in on Patreon by Joey Wynn, and he put in parentheses, I miss Canada. So we'll get into all that. Speaking of Patreon, you should join. I couldn't decide if I was going to say join or sign up. You should sign up and also join my Patreon. It is super fun. Over the weekend, we had a Patreon Zoom party, and I fucked up in a big way in that I normally record them so that people who miss out can watch it after, people who have access to that benefit. And it was really juicy. We bitched about people. There was Daniel joined. There was a little bit of something I thought was going to be a funny story, but it was more actually marital strife that came out. And there was something else juicy that I was going to tell you guys about that was going to serve as quite a tasty morsel tease. But now I forget. But anyway, it was very fun. And it's lost to the sands of time. So anyway, patreon.com/Allison Rosen. I would like to say hello to my guests. Very excited for this group. Alicia Tobin, resident Canadian. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Josh Gondelman, third time on the show, first time on the Thursday show. Hello.
Hello, what a pleasure. So nice to be here.
I'm very excited to have you on. Tony Thaxton, producer, getting introduced. Let's see. I mean, we are 2 minutes and 25 seconds in. This is unheard of. Usually I remember to introduce you like around 41 minutes.
Mm-hmm. I think this just goes to show that I'm really wearing you down, and you've grown to love me.
You're right. Like in the way that like a barnacle on a whale or something. Actually, that was supposed to be...
You took the words out of my mouth.
That's supposed to be insulting to you, and it just turned around on me because I'm the whale in that one. I'm going to have to think up Tony, I'm going to send you over a new amazing analogy, and then can you just like insert it in post, make it sound good?
Oh, I can't wait. I want nothing more than that.
I'm not really going to do that. If anyone's listened to the show before, which I hope you guys have, you know that I don't do anything professional like that. I barely remember to introduce Tony, But Tony has made a triumphant return to the Monday shows. He was always on the Monday shows. And then once this whole crazy pandemic started, he was on the first one, and Zoom, there was a lag, and I worried that it was like too many people trying to connect at once. And then I banished him. And so I would just record with the guest, and then I would send him the file. But of late, last 2 weeks, Sarah Watkins and Kulap Vilaysack and Suchin Pak, Tony has been back. And on the most recent one, we even chatted at the top, just like old days. How's it feel for you, Tony?
Oh, man, I already so many memories flooding back.
I know.
You know, it's really been quite a ride.
Yeah. It's been an e-ticket ride for the old people listening. Okay. All right. Enough of that. But everyone should go listen to the Sarah Watkins episode. She performed an original song at the end of it, and I can't stop listening to it and thinking about it. And I want everyone to go appreciate and love it too. YouTube.com/Allison Rosen. You can see the video. Okay. So, Alicia, Nanaimo bar? How do you say it? No.
Nanaimo bar.
Nanaimo. And what is it? Explain this, please.
Which part? What a Nanaimo is?
Yes.
Nanaimo's a city on Vancouver Island.
Oh.
It's one of the largest cities on Vancouver Island, if not the largest. And the Nanaimo bar is a combination of chocolate and then a custard cream on top of a coconutty chocolate bar base. And it's a Canadian treat. It's intense. It's sort of like, I feel like people that like Easter cream eggs are likely to like these, but I love Easter cream eggs and I hate Nanaimo bars. Unless they're like not that, it's the custard. The custard's always like too much. But I will still eat 5 to 10 if provided to me through a parent. I've never made them. People love them. And I heard that the New York Times completely destroyed the recipe and there's a lot of angry Canadians.
They said to put peas in them, I think.
Yeah, that's instead of the custard part, it's peas.
Just squish up some peas, lay them down under the coconut.
Yum, yum, yum. Nom, 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 nom. So, yeah.
Josh, are you familiar with this treat?
Yes.
I need to say, not only I can accept that I pronounced it wrong, but the fact that it's like one of the biggest cities in
British Columbia.
British Columbia. Okay. In the course of explaining how I feel bad about not knowing that, I have further dug myself in.
No.
I know.
It's
Canada.
okay.
I want Canada to welcome me with open arms, and I'm just shooting
would.
myself in the foot.
We don't have as many like major cities. We have just a handful of provinces, but I know nothing about American geography, and I can spell Minnesota and Illinois and all these other places that I probably won't go to. Not because they're bad places, but because we can't travel. So don't feel bad because you don't know something. Feel bad because you are probably going to accidentally eat a Nanaimo bar sometime in the near future.
I feel like I would like that. And honestly, I feel like I would enjoy the custard layer. But is it squishy and like soft and creamy?
No, it's firm. It's firm.
Like a candy bar.
It's
feel
firm,
like
but kind of chewy, right? There's like a chew to it.
Yeah, it's all
not like a
different
Chips
textures.
Ahoy. Yeah. It's not like a crunchy. Yeah. It's like, it's firm, but there's give to it. And it's like you said, Alicia, very intense, right? It's like you really only need an amount the size of like 2 Legos. and
Yeah.
It sounds like fudge.
it's,
Not
it's
really.
there's an
Well, that's
American. There's an American dessert that's like it, but I forget what it's called because
How
it's
dare
not.
you?
It's I know. Yeah, I don't even know American stuff. I'm like Nevada. No, what do we got? 53 states now. I've never heard of that one.
What could this American dessert that's like it be?
Let me look it up. I'm gonna
Almond Joy?
I'm gonna do some Google. No, it's firmer than an Almond Joy. I like. Well, this is texture talk with Allison Rosen, right? We're we're just gonna try to calibrate the texture.
Is it a nougaty sensation?
Not quite nougaty. It's almost like the kind of firm, like picture like a pecan pie, but if the pecan filling were thin.
Okay. I
So,
mean, I'm
like-
on board.
So it's like picture like if the crust and the nuts were separated just by like a toothpaste layer of not in flavor.
No, I
obviously,
know, but it's still gross
I
to
know
me.
a toothpaste
Gross.
thick layer, or like a cake frosting thickness layer.
Yeah, I'm on
of
board.
Yeah.
You know what? It sounds like a pecan sandy bar or something, like a cookie bar. No,
You're going to be so disappointed if you... I was wondering, have you had a Hello Dolly before?
I don't think
Yeah,
so.
that bar,
I don't
that's
think
the
so.
ultimate bar, and it puts Nanaimo bars to shame. But Nanaimo bars, I think Josh kind of nailed it. It's like icing. It's almost like icing consistency. So imagine like a Lara bar, that consistency.
Okay.
And then a layer of kind of like thick icing, very sweet. And then a hard, solid piece of chocolate on top. And I think the chocolate's always dark chocolate, but I could be wrong.
I'm out. Just like on Shark Tank, I'm out, guys.
Wait, what
that
got
just-
you? What pulled you out?
The competing layers
Lot
is
of layers.
just gonna like. My mouth said no, thank you, and
It's-
then also I'm not a big dark chocolate fan, but in the
It's
same
the chocolate that ruins it.
Yeah.
It's 100% the chocolate that it's The chocolate is the one thing that's too many. It's like when the Nanaimo bar left the house, it should have gone back in and taken off one layer.
Yes.
And it would have been the chocolate.
Right. Look in the mirror. What catches your eye, remove it. That piece of advice always bothered me, actually, because I feel like when I look in the mirror, what catches my eye, that's the thing that I spent time choosing. You know? My very safe gray, whatever this is, wrap thing. I'm not taking that off. Okay, so anyway, all of this made me realize we need to do, and this is a segment that I don't think either of you have done. I joke that it's my signature segment because I can never remember the name of it. It's Yes Please or Oh Puhleeze. And this is where we talk about controversial, lightning rod, highly polarizing topics. I'm not looking, listen, Alicia, I know you're from Canada, but I'm not looking, and Josh, you're like the world's nicest guy. I'm not looking.
People think I'm from Canada.
Yeah, that's how, we're not looking for nice diplomatic takes. We're looking for, you might get canceled. I want the real goods here. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so get ready to dig deep and like
Feel
put
like
it.
Josh and I aren't built for this.
No, this is where I live. This is where my comedy comes from. I come up with an opinion and I stick to it whether I'm right or I'm wrong. I'm coming in hot. I'm ready.
Good. That's good.
Okay, we're so different. As soon as I say a controversial opinion, I immediately apologize.
I apologize for non-controversial. In real life, I'll be like, "Oh, hey, it was really nice to see you. I'm so sorry. That was way over the line, Dad."
So I do a parenting-ish podcast with Greg Fitzsimmons, and
You just got Fitzdog.
we joked that it should be called Codependent Crossfire because we would start out with different opinions, and by the end, we had both reversed.
Oh, that's so funny.
We both got talked into the other one's opinion. So I hear what you guys are saying, but still, you're going to have to fight your nice and your Canadian tendencies. Okay, Tony, let's hear the song.
He said, yes, please, give me some of that. Oh, please, that's much crap.
Okay.
All right. Yep.
Are you ready?
I get it. I'm ready.
S'mores.
Never had one.
Oh,
Wow.
Whoa.
I know.
Oh, no.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
So yes, you're intrigued. You would like to try a s'more.
Yeah, yes, please.
You know what it is, right?
Yeah, it's a graham cracker, a marshmallow, and a piece of chocolate.
Yeah, and
melted.
Yes. Okay, Josh, what about you?
I'm gonna say yes, please. I think there's so much, like, especially I live in New York, and like the primary benefit of New York City for the past year has been, despite everything, I have access to every kind of food at a moment's notice. But I do think a s'more is like occasion specific. And so like, if you were to be like, you know, I wouldn't keep, if you could have ready-made s'mores, I wouldn't like keep a box of them in my house to have one a day. But like when you have like an outdoorsy excursion, it feels like a special treat. So I'm yes, please on s'mores. I'm like, okay with the food itself, delighted by the occasion to eat one.
That is a very Josh Gondelman answer, but it's also full of passion, so I like it. Now, you said you're in New York where you can eat anything you want. Is bucatini back?
Bucatini has come back.
Okay.
Yeah, shout out to Rachel Handler for writing that article about the bucatini shortage. But I think it's coming back little by little, like the songbirds in the spring.
Okay, perfect. Tony, what about you?
I feel like Josh nailed it on the head. It's pretty much exactly how I feel. I give it a big yes, please. But yeah, it's not a thing I have hardly ever. But when it happens, I'm all about it. And I'm not necessarily a big marshmallow guy, but it's like that thing where like you put it in a s'more though, and it's there we go. Now we're talking.
I hope you're all sitting down, and I hope you can handle. I hope you're not living in some kind of echo chamber where you only, where you're going to mute or block people who are going to present the other side to you. But I am a big Oh Puhleeze.
Wow.
Now, I'm not going to attribute it entirely to the fact that I don't really like the beach and I don't like eating sand, which is typically, but even though I don't like the beach, I have been feeling like I need to take my kids to the beach and I want to go to the beach because it's been a long time since I've been there. And then once I go there, I'll be reminded that I don't really like it. So I have the urge I have a masochistic beach urge right now. But in general, you eat s'mores at the beach, someone makes a fire, you stick them on like a long pokey thing, it's uncomfortably warm. Your s'more.
You think of it as the beach. Like, I think of it more as like a camping thing.
Yeah, me too. Like the woods.
Yeah.
Yeah. The sand. I can see how the sand is upsetting.
Yeah.
Yes,
well, you're on the. I feel like you're on the West Coast. Maybe you have like beach bonfires, like beachside bonfires. Maybe
That's all. I feel like my childhood was filled with so many beach bonfires, oftentimes some friends' church youth group. I mean, everything. I don't know who loves a bonfire, but I don't. But I went to so many of them, and they always involve s'mores. And what are even? Did someone just take a wire hanger and then like open it in the same way that if I'm nervous, I'll do with a paper clip? Like, you're just holding a spear basically, and then it's dangling, and it's got a marshmallow on the end of it, and then it sets stuff on fire, and you blow it
that
out.
Stuff rules.
That's pretty
that part
fun.
is awesome.
You blow it out, and then you stick it on between 2 graham crackers. You stick a piece of chocolate in there. It's like not consistently melted, but it is too hot in parts. And then you take a bite, and then it's too sticky, and there's sand in it. Like, there's just no clean way to eat a s'mores.
Which is beach food.
It's not
beach food.
I think if you tried to s'more in the woods, your vitriol would cool down by like at least 25%.
I mean, that's still a lot of vitriol left, but I hear what you're saying.
It's still a lot, sure.
I do like the ingredients.
You do like the ingredients.
Yeah, the ingredients are good. I just don't need it to be uncomfortably hot in parts, and the melty chocolate, and I don't know. And then plus
that's the thing.
The chocolate also, I could use a third of the amount of chocolate, because the chocolate then just sort of smothers the rest of the flavors.
Well, you know that you literally make the whole thing. You can pick how much chocolate you want to put on there, Allison.
You could use a hazelnut spread too.
Oh
yes,
yeah,
that
like
would
a
be
Nutella
good.
I just want to
s'more.
suggest that.
That would be
changing
good.
the game.
It would be like probably way nicer.
Okay.
To have like that with the.
So I feel like things we're
Josh.
learning. You go to the woods. You bring some Nutella. I feel like this is going to be a game changer for you.
Yeah, I think you're right. I just want to address Tony's allegation and his not allegation, his alleged accusation.
I'd call it a fact.
Tony's aggressive attack on me moments ago when he said that I was in charge of making my own s'mores and I could have used less chocolate. Mm-hmm. Tony.
That does ring true.
Well,
Josh.
look, I wasn't even in charge. Excuse me, I can't talk. I wasn't even in. I'm getting emotional. I wasn't even in charge of whether I went to a bonfire. I feel like I just sort of sleptwalked through my childhood. And yes, I actually could have set s'mores boundaries, but I didn't. I was just like, okay, whatever. Okay, this is okay. Thank you for this. Okay, here we go. Okay, I hate all this, but I don't know that really. It's just coming out in my facial tics that I've developed. Okay, that was my childhood.
I have another question. Is it always Hershey's chocolate?
I think
because
it is.
Hershey's is the worst chocolate.
Oh my! I knew we were headed for controversy.
It tastes like barf a little bit.
Wow. What is your favorite chocolate?
Anything but Hershey's, but we'll still eat Hershey's if it's the only thing around.
I have never made a s'more with anything other than Hershey's.
I think it's also part of the problem.
Yeah.
That I think that chocolate could be upgraded. This is coming from a person who hasn't had it, but just Hershey's, like, there's much better chocolate now.
Wait, you haven't had a s'more, or you haven't had Hershey's?
I haven't had s'mores.
Yeah.
So, but Hershey's has this kind of strange aftertaste and very strong flavor to it that's not really a chocolate flavor.
And it's it doesn't have that good thing. I think they say in like good chocolate, it should like smudge when you touch it, right? And Hershey's is very like firm, like a Crayola crayon.
With waxy.
Yeah, it's waxy. That's a great word. I got right there with crayon, and you were like, waxy. I was like, oh, right.
No, you made it come to life more.
I do think that would make I do think that would make a difference. I'm with Alicia. You upgrade the chocolate or go Nutella. I think your anti-s'more is you were raised in captivity by Jack Johnson, it sounds like.
Yes.
Or John Mayer. and that seems unhealthy.
One of my friends was Jack Johnson's guitar tech. That's how much you just nailed that on the head.
Yeah,
now, I don't know how many s'mores he consumed in that line of work. Probably a lot. So
I bet Jack Johnson, before he kisses a person for the first time, it's all s'more play. He brings them out to a bonfire on the beach, toasts them a marshmallow. Boom. That's his move.
I think you're right.
It
Now,
wouldn't work on Allison.
it would not work.
No way.
No, it would be a turnoff. I tried to get the word s'more into that, but I couldn't. So
Smirnoff is just a vodka.
So if I seem a little cranky, I did not sleep well, which is sort of a thing that I often don't do. I often don't sleep well. However, I've gotten in the habit of sleeping with a little heat pad, like a little old lady. I think it started from uncomfortable cramps, and now just every single night I just get in bed, I put the heat pad on my abdomen, I go, oh, it's so comfortable. I'm so it's like my version of a heated blanket. And then it started periodically flashing F, and that has just been a real problem. And then last night so then I was like, okay, I just got to turn it down. For some reason it'll work if I turn it down. And then last night it just completely didn't work. So I had to instead of just unplugging it and plugging it back in desperately like I've been doing, I just had to sleep without it, and I could barely sleep. And I've realized, like a boy who can only masturbate with lotion, I've done this to myself. I have become dependent on this item. What do I do?
Just get another one.
Should I just get another one, or should I break the dependency? I mean, I already have ordered one, but I'm like, I could stop. I think I should just, I'm not going to be in it.
Were you sleeping before you figured out this blanket thing? Or is it something that actually helps you sleep?
It helps me sleep.
Then you absolutely need to get one.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I'll do.
If you can't, sleep is the most important thing you can do, and nobody does it properly or easily.
Yeah.
And the least you deserve in this life is that extra hour or 2 hours of rested sleep that you get from this dumb blanket.
All right. Then I'm
Yeah.
glad that I've already ordered another one.
But maybe you should get a backup one.
That's smart.
You were going to go in the opposite direction, Allison. You were like, do I need 1 or 0? Alicia's like, get 2.
Yeah.
Double down.
Well, here's the thing that's going to drive me insane. We actually own another one, but I can't find it. There is one in the house. The solution to my sleepless night tonight is in the house somewhere, but I haven't seen it since we moved. Yeah.
Maybe it isn't in the house.
Since you moved.
Maybe it isn't
Didn't
in the
you
house.
move,
Maybe
like-
you loaned it to somebody. That's something that I do. I loan things and then I forget who I loaned them to, and I get another one.
I like that idea, except just to paint a picture of myself as someone who's like really, really petty. I loaned a book to this guy, Ben, when I lived in New York. I don't know if I've mentioned that I lived in New York many years ago. And I still remember. And I loaned my Spanish textbook to this guy, Jeff, in college. Neither of them have been
Jeffs.
returned. Yeah, Jeff with a G. So there you go.
Whoa.
Neither of them have been returned. So I would know if I'd loaned it out. Anyway, Tony, on the attack again. Yes. Right. We moved into this house in late 2018. However, I had seen this heat pad.
You're still unpacking.
You know, we are still unpacking. We are still. You say it like it's unusual. Speaking of clutter, Alicia, you mentioned that you were spring cleaning.
I'll send you a picture on Instagram of what this apartment looked like 2 hours ago. I took the week off work. I need a break from being at work all the time during a pandemic. And then I realized I can't relax because my house is so disorganized and I'm here for a week. So I started going through all the fucking paperwork and all the stuff from work and separating it. And I have 3 baskets. One's like memories and like things that I want to keep, like cards. And one's paperwork that has to be filed properly. And the other is trash or donations. And I am so tired and I'm only maybe a third done. But I feel like it's my home again and not my office, which is great.
That's good. That's good to make. I like the 3 basket idea because it's that first basket you mentioned, the sort of the memory, emotional nostalgia.
It's so emotional.
That's the hardest one for me. And that's, I think, why I'm not good at decluttering.
Yeah, well, I just allow myself to keep things that I like. And that includes a lot of weird things. But what am I going to do? I love it. Like, if I love something, it doesn't matter if I have it, if I have room for it. It's not something if it's not something somebody else could use or appreciate too, like a bunch of weird things from comedy shows that I've collected over the years. And yeah, it doesn't take up a lot of space, but it brings me happiness. I'm not a minimalist, but I have made the mistake before of getting rid of things that I actually liked out of a sense of like, oh, I don't really need this. I have a pair of overalls from the 90s that I love. And every time I kind of go through my closet, I just say, like, I'm always going to keep these beautifully made overalls that look really weird now. But I love them, and I love that time in my life, and I allow myself to keep them and put them on and, like, slowly zip them up and pinch my fat a little bit. And then I walk around the house, and then I take them off and I put them off.
They look weird because they say O.J. Simpson rules across the front, right?
He didn't do it. Yeah. If it doesn't fit, he must have quit. That's on the back. And in the front, there's just a picture of Woody Allen. It's really nice. Really nice. Or made by a designer in Montreal. She was really cool. Yeah, so that's it. It's like what I really hate doing is paperwork. Mm-hmm. So I'll just put like all of my tax receipts in a basket and then and then let's not deal with them and then move them to a bigger basket and move them to a bigger basket. So that's the kind of stuff I hate to look at. Like I hate looking at money stuff and bills and things like that.
So what have you been doing with it?
Now that's all organized, but I would just put them in a basket.
Yeah. No, but I mean, because that's my question is like in going through it, what do you do? Because I've got, 1,000 papers and I just keep them because I don't know if I'm supposed to or not, but I will never go through them. I could throw all of them out and I'd probably be okay until someone asks me for like a copy of something and I'm like, oh, fuck.
Yeah. Well, I think that most important thing is like keep the stuff that you know you may need and know where it is, but don't have it around so you have to look at it.
I mean, all of that is already a bridge too far. Yes.
I have the similar problem, Allison, where I'm like, I feel like as an adult in my 30s, I should look at a paper and know whether it's something I will need or will not need. Mm-hmm. And I feel like my radar for that is way off. Yes. And so I'm just like, I either keep everything and then it just becomes like insurmountable stacks, and then it just gets to a point where I go, well, it's been 2 years and no one's asked me for this. And then I throw it out. And it's like, there's got to be a better, more discerning system I could implement.
There's an app. You could like use one of those apps where you just take a photo of your receipt and then get rid of your receipt. I don't know. This is not funny.
It's like receipts, mail.
No, but it's real.
No. I hear you. I think that's right for receipts. But I mean like any kind of paper. Like if I look at a genre of paper, if you were like, Josh, is this important for 6 months, a year, 5 years from now, I would not be able to know yes or no. If you're like, this medical bill that you've paid.
Yes.
This, right. Okay. This, just a statement from like a bank statement from 3 months ago.
No.
Okay.
You can get it online too.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel about most things these days. Because that's kind of where, because I struggle with this a little bit too, but I feel like at the end of the day, I've kind of gotten to the point where I'm like, I can get this online. Like there are very few things I feel like you can't still access somehow.
Yep.
Receipts from the farmer's market. Keep those, Josh.
Oh, okay.
Handwritten, like parsnips, $5. Keep that just for memories. Just for the good times.
That was just like a dollop of honey paid for with a handshake.
Oh, yeah. What if you put the honey in your hand though, and then you shook his hand?
That's a mean prank. They call that the farmer's hello, and it's very rude. They call it good morning beekeeper, and you're not supposed to do it.
It always catches me by surprise too, because the farmers market is such a friendly place. Like here, we're bringing our wares from the earth, and then to have like a sticky handful of honey, I never see it coming, and I always fall.
Never see it coming, and there's always a little twinkle in their eye, and usually they're going bzz, 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 to kind of telegraph it.
Right.
But I never catch on. I get taken unawares every time when they give me the hello beekeeper.
It's so hard to get home with a handful of honey.
Yes.
Gosh, that's a beautiful Indigo Girls lyric.
That I would say that's like probably the only upside of the pandemic. It's been over a year since I've had a handful of honey.
Yeah.
It's true. I do feel like in general, people aren't talking about this because of just the massive public health emergency, but pranks have gone way down.
They really have. Mm-hmm. But I know that you're joking and also being serious, but there was supposed to be a prank show with a couple disgraced comedians, and that got shelved when their scandals came out. So, and I feel like there was like a couple prank shows that there's one with the disgraced comedians, and then there was one with the guy who he's the kid from Stranger Things.
That's what I was
Heather
I saw that.
Matarazzo's son. Yeah.
Yep.
And I think it was like something where someone would be applying for a job, but the job was fake.
It looked very cruel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
They
I don't
shelved
blame
too.
that kid. You're right. It was like, it felt, I remember seeing like a promo for it, or just even like the description on Variety or something. And it was something that was like, a person really needs something, and then they play a prank on that person.
Right.
It felt really bad.
Yeah. It's
like a doctor. They're dying. Just kidding.
Right. Yeah. So
Have you ever played a really great prank? I haven't played a really great prank in a long time, but I have played some pretty great pranks.
I don't think I have ever. I'm not really the pranking type, but I would like to hear what prank you have played.
Please.
When I was a kid, my frontal lobe wasn't fully developed, I guess. I was pretty good at pranks.
That's all kids, by the way.
Pardon me?
I said I think that's all kids.
Yeah.
All kids, they're not fully developed in the frontal lobe yet.
That makes me feel better. Thank you. My friend's sister, who's a bit older, her bike was stolen the year before, and it was her favorite bike. It was a banana seat bike, silver handlebars, streamers. And so for my birthday the next year, I asked for the exact same bike. And then I went to her house and parked it in her driveway, and I said, I found your bike.
Oh, so mean.
So mean, right? Then she was really excited, and I just said, I'm just kidding. It's my bike. I got it for my birthday.
Oh my God, I take back what I said.
That's so mean, Alicia.
Yeah. And then another joke I was thinking about this the other day because I saw a very similar car. My parents had this really old station wagon, like family vacation style. Mm-hmm. And we loved it. We never really thought anything of it. But my friend Jen, her sister was going to get a new car for her birthday when she turned 16, get her driver's license. And so I told Jen that her parents had contacted my parents to buy the station wagon for her sister. And she cried.
That's, I think, a funnier one.
Yeah.
I did, Allison, you were dead on. I looked up that prank show. It was called Prank Encounters, which I guess that's supposed to be a pun. And they said the terrifying and hilarious pranks, those are quotes, terrifying and hilarious, would be played on two complete strangers who each think they're starting their first day at a new job. And there's nothing people like more, right? To have finally found a job after a lengthy search, only to have it be pulled out from under them by a wealthy teenager.
Right.
That's what people want.
And on top of that, the first day of a new job is never stressful or anything.
No.
You're always just calm.
You're just like, gosh, I wish a child who has a net worth of more than my whole family combined would play a trick on me today. That's what I need. And I'm not even, the kid was 16 at the time. I'm not like mad at the 16-year-old kid. It's just like the adult executives who are like, yeah, that's a show.
Is the pun Frank Encounters? Because that's like a Wheel of Fortune, like what Wheel of Fortune would consider a phrase where you're like, I mean, it's words together, but it's not a known phrase.
I guess I get what that means.
Yeah.
That's so funny, the idea of a pun on a thing that someone might say.
Right. I guess it's not, that's silly. You know what's not silly, though? BetterHelp. If you're having trouble meeting your goals or difficulty with relationships or trouble sleeping or you're feeling stressed or depressed, BetterHelp is available. BetterHelp offers online professional counselors who can listen and help. You simply fill out a questionnaire to assess your needs, and BetterHelp will match you with your own licensed professional therapist. You can start communicating in under 48 hours. And you guys, Greg Fitzsimmons is using BetterHelp right now, and also Allie Ward is using BetterHelp. And I do not feel bad revealing what seems like it should be kind of confidential, because they've both publicly on shows to me said this. So, and they're both super happy with it. And something that I think is so great about BetterHelp is you can change therapists till you get to the person that feels like a good match for you, as many times as you want, no extra charge. So if you're thinking, well, I mean, I know that a concern that a lot of people have with starting therapy is, what if it doesn't feel right? I don't want to commit, blah, blah, blah. You're not committing. You are starting the process of finding the person who will be the right match for you. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and Allison Rosen is your new best friend. Listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/bestfriend. Visit BetterHelp. So that's better, HELP.com/bestfriend, and join the over 1 million people who have taken charge of their mental health with the help of an experienced BetterHelp professional. I also want to talk to you guys about SoulCycle. If you're like me, you're missing your workout routine and your favorite fitness instructors. Perhaps you're looking for an at-home alternative that is every bit as motivating and as good as your out-of-home experience. And that is where your SoulCycle at-home bike comes in. The SoulCycle at-home bike converts your home into a SoulCycle studio. The 21-inch touch screen houses a revolutionary sound system that was specifically engineered for the bike and SoulCycle's iconic playlist. With unlimited access to live and on-demand SoulCycle classes, you can clip in with your favorite instructors and be transported to the front row of the studio on your schedule. Your monthly membership also gives you unlimited access to the Equinox Plus app, where you can stream classes from other top-tier brands like Equinox, Rumble, TB12, Pure Yoga, and Solid Core. You can get your SoulCycle at-home bike in just 1 to 3 weeks. 1 to 3 weeks, you guys. And they have financing options available to make attaining your goals achievable. And also I just want to say the app is so great because there's so many options. You'll definitely find something that you love. I have. Get your SoulCycle at-home bike today by visiting mysoulcyclebike.com/bestfriend and use promo code bestfriend to get a complimentary pair of at-home select cycling shoes with your purchase. That's mysoulcyclebike.com/bestfriend, promo code bestfriend to get a complimentary pair of cycling shoes with the purchase of your SoulCycle at-home bike. mysoulcyclebike.com/bestfriend, promo code bestfriend. Okay.
That's a good deal.
I don't know. It is a good deal. I don't know how you guys feel about thong underwear and G-strings, but it has been sort of an ongoing, like, shows where each season it changes stories. So like,
sure.
What's the TV show that
like a
does
Fargo?
This? Is Fargo changing stories
Fargo.
each season?
Yeah, it's like an anthology show. Yeah.
Yes. This season of my show seems to be dedicated to thongs and G-strings. I have...
Yet Cisco is nowhere to be found.
thus far.
Cisco, answer Allison's email.
It'd be a great guest.
Cisco, do we just talk about thongs and then it like pings him? Or how do we indicate that we need Cisco to weigh in?
I can't imagine you could get Cisco on here. I think we can make that happen.
All right. But I like the idea that just talking about it like alerts his thong relaxing. Like he just gets a tingling in between his cheeks. He's like, I'm needed. So and then he hops into a car which looks like a giant thong. It's the most uncomfortable car ever because you're kind of falling out of either side of it, and it's also very dangerous. Anyway, I have
It's more of a bike with a car's engine.
It really is. Yes. It's like a really tricked out moped.
Yeah.
So I have shared that I find them to be just incredibly uncomfortable, and people who say that they get comfortable, I don't believe that. And on a recent Monday episode, Daniel and I took calls, and I had people weigh in, and I mean, they were just, to a man, woman, person, everyone was anti-thong. However, some people have written in to defend thongs.
Okay.
Yeah. And here's one that I wanted to share. Tony, do we have anything to play to indicate that I'm going to read something?
Tony Thaxton.
Exactly what I was thinking. Okay. Hello. Oh, and they wrote into ariynbfshow@gmail.com. Hello, I love the show. Never thought this would be the reason I'd write in, but I feel like someone needs to defend thongs. I started wearing them in high school, specifically for cross country and track because, and this is gross, the butt of my underwear would get so sweaty and nasty that it interfered with my ability to focus on the workout. I liked thongs. Let me just take a moment to say, if the problem is that the fabric is all sweaty and nasty, why are you like inserting it inside your body? But anyway, I liked thongs immediately. Maybe because I only ever get 100% cotton ones and they're quite soft, and was legitimately excited to discover that they also keep farts from getting super loud. I'm not sure how that...
I'm back in.
Oh my God, I have more to read, but I love Alicia's reaction and also Josh's expression. I should have said when I was talking about Patreon earlier, one of the Patreon bonuses is you can see this video. Patreon.com/AllisonRosen. Okay. I'm not sure how that works. Maybe the string prevents vibration or something. Anyway, we don't all have Stockholm.
I doubt the science here.
I know.
I'm skeptical.
We don't all have Stockholm syndrome. That was something that we alleged on an earlier episode. Sincerely, please don't read my name on air. And I wrote back and I said this fart revelation might be a game changer for someone else, not for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I can't do it. And then as Josh points out, like the science is dubious because...
Yeah, I'm going to need to see a peer-reviewed study.
Also... If you
it's
think
just
about
touching
it,
her butthole, so the
it's just a
fart
mute.
can't escape. Yeah,
it's like a trumpet's mute.
yeah.
Because I
I
like
don't
the
think it's science as much as it is.
physics.
Yeah,
That's still a science. We're gonna need to get like Allie Ward to come on and talk about it, or if there's like a famous fartologist. If it is a vibrating string, if you think about it, if you were to touch it in different areas, your fart would be different tones.
Right, like a guitar string.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
basically. Yeah. Did you get another letter or just the one?
I received another one that did I read it on the show with Jenna and Al? I think I did.
I don't recall you reading one. but
Really?
Maybe I'm wrong.
Still, the numbers seem really low in the pro thong side.
You know
of
what?
things.
Give me 1 second because someone wrote into childish, and I just got to find that. Now I don't know why they're writing into childish when the thongs have been coming up on this show, unless we also talked about it on that show.
This is like the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
It really is. It's reaching across.
This is Thong Division.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Now, in this one, she even sent a photo of herself in a thong,
Wow.
which is kind of bragging. And I mean, because she's
Screen
got like
share.
a crazy badonkadonk with a thong in it. So anyway,
That must be nice.
okay. Yeah, I mean, look, maybe it's sour
I feel like
grapes.
it's also like butt specific.
Yeah, and I have a butt that is
Right.
in this, like, you know how people will pierce their eyebrow and apparently your body rejects it and it grows out.
Yeah.
My body rejects thongs. Josh, you didn't know about this?
I didn't know about this.
I didn't either.
Yeah. I mean, I've never pierced my eyebrow, but I've heard of that happening. Like it's your body kind of pushes.
Oh yeah, it rejects the
Like a
piercing.
tree growing around a chain link fence?
kind of, but like the opposite of it, like a tree expelling a chain link fence.
Oh, okay. Sure.
But oh my God! But imagine if your butt grew around the thong.
I bet there's some nightmare stories.
I'm sure. So anyway, this is what she said. Allison, the fans and I from your BFF show. So there is a podcast called BFF Fancast, which is about this show. They'll talk about you guys, and it'll be positive. The fans and I from your BFF show were having a convo about liking thongs and shallow butt cheeks. We don't understand the shallow butt cheek thing, but either way, here's a pic of someone who enjoys thongs. Are her butt cheeks shallow? It may or may not be a pic of me in Hawaii. Listen, Marcy, you have a great butt. Yeah, we were just theorizing that those of us who are anti-thong, maybe our butthole is deep set.
Or maybe you don't have like butt cheeks.
But I do.
Kind of. That's nice. I wanted to say I don't personally like thongs, but I do really like the way thong bathing suits look.
Yeah,
Like,
the look.
I think they look really nice on people.
I am okay with the look of all of it. It's the feel.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
It's the feel I can't get behind. Where
Is
are
it
you
because once one slipped when you were really drunk and then you walked home and you didn't realize it had slipped and then you chafed your labia?
No, but is
Okay,
that a
okay.
risk?
It could be.
Did this happen to you?
I can't say.
Was it like a fancy thong with beads on it or lace or something? Because what came up on the last episode, I'm remembering now, is that I ran into an article which is like how to start wearing thongs with minimal discomfort and pain. And I was like, why do you have to work up to wearing underwear?
Yeah, what I look for in an article of clothing is rarely that I need like a seminar to get me ready for it.
Right.
I think either they're comfortable or they're not comfortable.
Yeah, either it's for you, and this is not anti-thong. This is just anything that does not suit your body in that way is probably not for you, right? If it was like how to wear socks in a way where your feet don't catch on fire, I'd be like, yeah, maybe I'm a flip-flops guy now.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, no, please no, Josh.
No, I'm not a flip-flops guy.
Thank you.
No, you're a like custom sneaker head.
Big sock wearer, lot of sneakers. Very rare am I in sandals.
I think I what were you saying, Alicia? I stepped on it.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
I was just excited to talk about shoes, and then I realized that no one probably wants to talk about shoes.
I love to talk about a shoe.
Hello.
I was going to say, would you wear, if you had to, what would be your sandal of choice? Because I have a whole Birkenstock theory.
Tell me, I want to hear the theory first before I choose.
Well, I think Birkenstocks are like the ultimate classic sandal. They never go out of style. I think they're very cool. And I'll defend them till my last breath instead of defending anything worthwhile. But I love them, and I spend a lot of time looking at them. I own a few pairs. And I think that they, like, if you have to wear a sandal, I think a Birkenstock is always acceptable. Not like those fancy Birkenstocks. They have to be like sort of, for me, like the traditional ones. But
how do you feel about something that was very popular in high school when I was dating Jack Johnson and also college, which is Birkenstocks with socks?
Yeah, I still think it can work if it's the right sock. If it's a wool sock with a red stripe.
You'd rock a stock and a sock?
Yeah.
I like
a sock
that.
and a stock, yeah.
Yeah, it would be, I love it. I think it looks great. Especially if it's like the Bostons with like the mule style. Yeah, I love it.
Totally appreciating your retro embrace of the Birkenstock, because I feel like Birkenstocks fell out of favor. I kind of like, and I don't own any anymore, but I kind of like the fancy ones. I think they're kind of
like the new ones that are
stylish.
coming out. This season has some great styles.
Yeah, they're like narrower and metallic.
Oh, those are very pretty. Those are those are like 2 to 3 seasons ago. Sorry, Allison.
No, it's all right. I don't pretend to be.
They're very very nice.
A sales rep
Also,
for Birkenstock.
A metallic shoe. I mean, I'll argue pro metallic shoe.
I like a metallic
too.
shoe.
Yeah,
I think
me
that's
too.
fun.
I've never
Yeah.
been able to pull off anything metallic, including. Do you remember when small backpacks were in fashion?
Sure.
Get back.
They are.
Yeah.
Everything that I threw out is back.
Yep.
But I owned 2 small backpacks, one black leather from Guess, and one, I don't know what the material was, but it was metallic silver, and I purchased this in Europe because there was this super cool girl who she was probably like 18 or 19, which is about how old I was. She had like chic, short blonde hair. She smoked cigarettes. I think she was Dutch. And she had a metallic silver backpack. And I was like, I need that. So I went out and got myself a metallic silver backpack. And all I received was mockery and silence. Not one compliment. And I get it. I couldn't pull it off, but I wanted to.
I did once buy a metallic gold puffy vest. So I know your pain. And
I like that.
It was beautiful. But I remember walking down the street and I was wearing these really nice Nikes that were, I called them my Spider-Man shoes. They were metallic silver with like this bright blue swoosh. And people just hated me.
I like this look.
It was a great look. I had just returned from living in Montreal for a while, where I'm from, but I moved back to the West Coast, and I was like, this is how people dress where I'm from. And then no, nobody liked that look. I didn't get a lot of wear out of the vest. People were openly hostile towards me when I was wearing it.
Why are people so threatened by our metallic vibes?
I don't know.
In Canada, they did that?
Yeah, we're hostile in our own ways. Yeah, it's different.
What is the way?
Well, we're more like, gross. Yeah, I think people have, I've said this on my podcast before, Americans are nicer than Canadians, but Canadians are more polite.
I understand that. I'm from Massachusetts, though, that's one of the east ones.
Yes.
Little squiggly on the end, kind of a swoosh on the right side. And if you're looking at it, standard north-south orientation. And people would be like openly mean if they didn't like your clothes. Like in Boston, people would just be like, nice shirt, you fucking asshole. Like on the street, people would do that.
That's so mean. Okay.
That's my baseline for mean. It's like, would people yell at you across the street if they thought your shirt was stupid?
No, absolutely not. People would yell at you here, though, if you're doing something like awful. Like everyone's always yelling at cars and stuff. And dicks. Yeah. We're not cruel.
Yeah.
Well, not usually. I think I don't want to
bike prank.
My parents encouraged that prank. I don't think I really thought of it completely on my own, but I definitely wanted to be accepted and loved by my parents. Yeah, that's really mean, Josh.
It's really mean.
That's awful.
Not that everyone there is like that all the time, but that's just like when you're like, people were mean on the street. That's truly what I picture. It's just people like open hostility.
No,
like
it's
you
more
would
like
say
an
to a
energy
person,
thing, more like a vibe.
Bad vibe. Bad vibes can't discount that.
Yeah, bad vibes, but no one complimented it, and it was pretty out there item that you would think it would get some compliments. So the silence was deafening.
This is how I feel about my bag.
So, yeah.
I
bet it was so cool.
I mean, I thought it was. Cool. I thought it was, but then this was in college, and this guy, Dave, told our mutual friends that he knew of some like 90-year-old woman who dressed entirely in metallic. Which
that lady rules.
Yeah, I know.
Also, Dave Matthews from your college who did all those bonfires should not have been mean to you like that.
Yeah, but it was like secondhand mean because he didn't tell me. He just told them that there was this lady who was this metallic lady and my bag reminded him of her.
I don't like it. I don't like this Dave character.
No.
You need to spend time with friends that build you up, Allison.
I know. I mean, I think now I do.
Okay.
Not that I spend time with friends at all.
Right.
I would now. Okay, I want to dig into a little bit this Americans are nicer, but Canadians are more polite. What does that mean? Because, Josh, you understood.
I do. I think I did. I think I'm on your wavelength, Felicia.
Whenever I am in the U.S., and this includes like New York or L.A. or smaller places, I can't believe how genuinely kind people seem and nice, and they don't want to rock the boat and patient. Of course, like in the news, what we see is a very different story. But And also customer service. I know that the risk of losing a job in the U.S. holds even greater, as it would be even a greater loss than in Canada because the safety net's not the same. But customer service is above and beyond. Like, it's too much. I'm like, you don't have to be nice to me. You're already doing the thing I need you to do, which is selling me the thing or bringing me the food. Like, it's fine. You don't have to talk to me. Yeah, people just seem genuinely really nice a lot of the time. And I think Canadians, we pride ourselves on being sarcastic and critical. And I don't know, it's a little bit different. But we get a pass all the time that we're so nice. And I think that we are polite, but I don't know that we're always nice. Where I feel like
I want to go to Canada.
Feel so, yeah. Like
I want to be around the sarcastic people.
You can just bitch. It's like a dialogue that I have with the universe is just complaining constantly and everyone's fine with it. You just have to make it interesting. That's the only rule about complaining. You have to make it charming and you have to be self-reflective.
I love a charming complaint.
Right?
That's so fun.
Yeah.
I love self-awareness. Would you say that America, I know that these are broad strokes, but would you say that America lacks a self-awareness that Canada has?
I couldn't say really. I don't think that I know enough Americans to say that, or I've had enough experiences to really say that.
Right.
I just, when I look at America, I'm always like, you guys deserve a lot better than you're getting. What's happening?
That's true.
It's so upsetting to watch the news and like, not only like what's just happened over the past year, but just what happens there is, these things happen in Canada to a certain degree too. So it's not like we are perfect, but
like what kinds of things? I'm sure I agree, but what kinds of things are you talking about? Are you talking about the shootings that are now on the rise again here?
Yeah, the shootings are one thing that's always shocking and not shocking too. Like when they happen, it's just like, okay, this is going to happen. But the kind of shit that you go through with your politicians and the things that have happened in the past 6 years have been particularly upsetting to watch. But your taxes should be paying for healthcare. They should be paying for education. Like there's so much money in America that gets spent on things that don't help anybody. Yeah. And I don't know. I think, and once again, like these things happen in Canada, but it's different. Like there's millions and millions and millions and millions of more people that are suffering there. And like, it's mind blowing to be in a smaller town in the US and see people that didn't get healthcare when they needed it. So they may have a permanent limp, or they lost an eye, or they're missing a finger, or, that basic healthcare isn't covered unless you have a job. Is like our healthcare kind of sucks, but at least if something happens, you're not going to end up with a $100,000 bill because you sliced your finger off at work. So
right like before that Matarazzo kid showed up. Oh, turns out this is just for a show. Sorry about your finger.
Yeah. Oops. Yeah.
You're like, so this doesn't even give me health insurance? You cut off my finger.
I wonder how much that show paid, like after the people realized they didn't have a job, like a year's salary. Like what would be the appearance fee for the strange person that they suckered into this?
Right. I don't even know how far the show had gotten.
Yeah, he was really... I wonder who the original star they had planned for the show. It feels like it couldn't have been that little boy.
Right.
Oh, I feel like it's so much meaner with a grown-up because the grown-up knows what they're doing, right? Like a grown-up, like an adult who's like, oh yeah, we know it's economic times have been hard, but hey, we're ready. We're really excited to onboard you starting Monday. Like they know that when you're like, sucker, your kids are gonna have to just suck on ice for dinner tonight again. Like they know what they're doing is wrong.
Yeah, that's why they couldn't get anyone, and they got this kid. Maybe that's what happened. And he's like, "This is great. I'm not just going to be the kid from Stranger Things. I'm going to be this really mean man. I'm a mean man now. I'm all grown up."
I'm not a boy. I'm a mean man.
Yeah, I'm ready for this. Always wanted to be a mean man.
Listen, you guys. National Sleep Month. I missed an opportunity for a segue earlier, and I I consider myself the queen of segues, so I have a lot of explaining to do. National Sleep Month is nearly over, but it's never too late to revitalize your nighttime routine and get the sleep you need to feel your best every day. Our good friends at CBDMD have the perfect duo of melatonin-infused products to help you rest, recover, and make every month feel like Sleep Month. CBD PM blends sleep-promoting ingredients like melatonin, valerian root, and chamomile with 500 milligrams of high-quality CBD to create a powerful and effective sleep aid. And Sleep PM bath salts fuse superior CBD and melatonin with a mixture of Epsom, Dead Sea, and Himalayan salt to turn any bathtub into a luxury spa experience. And then CBDMD has like a whole bunch of other products too. They have stuff for your lips. They have bath salts. They have the thing that I have used and liked, which is this like roll-on with CBD and lidocaine for sore muscles. Because as I mentioned, when I got my cordless vacuum, I went nuts with it and I was like waving it over my head and getting in the corners, and then I was really sore afterwards. And to make it even easier to relax, regroup, and recharge, they're offering all our listeners 25% off your next order when you use the promo code Allison at checkout. Once again, that's cbdmd.com, promo code Allison for 25% off your purchase of superior CBD products from CBDMD. So again, that is cbdmd.com, promo code Allison. Okay, Josh, I have to ask you, you were on Wait, Don't Tell Me with my man crush, Mandy Patinken.
Yes.
What and I know Helen Hong was on that episode too, and I've since had her on this show, and I forgot to ask her, but what was that like? Was he all that I hope he would be?
Yes. I mean, I know him. I was going to say I only know him from that, but that's not true. I just mean this is the only time I've interacted with him. I was a panelist on Wait, Don't Tell Me, and he and his wife were the Not My Job segment guests. So it's like an interview and then they play a game, and they were so charming and everyone was so delighted to talk with them, and they were like incredibly gracious. And Mo Rocca, who was also a panelist on that episode, was like an honest to goodness gigantic Mandy Patinken fan and started singing to him, and he was singing back. It was just like so fun and so sweet. And it was really, really fun. It's really interesting because on that show, I think they do such a wonderful job, like making every episode, you know, with the guests, like they really highlight what's fascinating about the guests, and like sometimes a little interplay with the panelists and sometimes not, but they hit the ground running so fast, and we're so just like immediately we were like, everyone was just like enraptured. And because, you know, he has like a 40-year career that everyone is like aware of and delighted by. So like not only was he great, but like everyone was just so primed to love him from moment one. It was a blast.
So what you're saying is my competition for being Mandy's favorite is Mo Rocca? Am I going to have to sing?
I would say Mo. I would say of the panelists, Mo was maybe the one who I would guess would be Mandy's favorite. He didn't rank us on the show or off the air, but I feel like Mo's readiness to sing. I will tell you what, I liked his interaction better than Mandy Patinken more than watching mine. I was like, this guy gets it.
Yeah.
And I was delighted. I had a great time. But I'll tell you what, I wasn't bringing up the deep cuts. He was very, this is how gracious he was. Peter Sagal, the host of Wait, Don't Tell Me, who, you know, great host for a number of years, asked him to say the line from Princess Bride, my name is Inigo Montoya, you killed my father, prepared to die. And he said it, and all the panelists and Peter like applauded like children who just saw magic for the first time. It was, I was just like over the moon delighted. And Peter was like, I think who is also a big fan, was like, I have to ask you this because this is like what we all were like on the edge of our seats. We would love to hear this. And he obliged and was gracious and enthusiastic and just like so wonderful.
I love that.
It was a blast.
Well, I'm very jealous of all that. Would you guys be interested in doing some Just Me or Everyone? This is where people write in with things they think or do, and they wonder, is it just me or everyone? And we weigh in. And then also, if you guys have your own Just Me or Everyone's, we reveal those. Let's do it.
I'd love that.
Sometimes I ponder on something I have thought or done. Is it just me or everyone?
All right. Do you guys have your own Just Me or Everyone's?
I have a weird one.
I love weird ones.
Okay, I always have, like, when I get to the end of a tube of toothpaste, I save a little bit of toothpaste in case there's an emergency toothpaste situation.
Ooh.
And so if I run out of toothpaste, I always have this little bit of toothpaste. I do the same thing with dish soap. Like, I'll start another container or tube, bottle, but there's always just like this emergency amount of toothpaste or dish soap, for example, in my house.
Where do you save it? Like, where do you leave that reserve nugget of toothpaste?
Just in the cupboard where I keep my like extra shampoo or soap.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, how many are in there?
Just one.
Oh, just
There's
one. So you
there's just one.
toss it when
Yeah,
the
but-
next one. I see. Interesting.
No, I will use it.
Oh, you will.
Yeah, I'll use it.
Oh, I see. Got
Yeah.
it.
And I have extra toothpaste as well, like full tubes, but I don't know when I started doing it. I think it's weird.
Have you ever had this emergency where you needed it?
Yeah, for sure. Like where
Oh.
one tube is empty and I'm like, oh, I don't have another fresh tube, but I've got an
Right.
emergency little bit. Especially with dish soap, it's really paid off.
Yes, I can see where that would come in handy. I'm trying to think if I do any. Like, I'm pretty bad. I'm the person who puts the milk back in the refrigerator with one sip left because I'm like, because
Okay.
I'll want that for my coffee. And also, I don't like dealing with like throwing away unwieldy things like a big carton that you got to rinse out and smush
So you're
down.
leaving
and-
it for somebody else.
Yeah, it's terrible. Sorry, Daniel. But I don't do that with toothpaste or dish soap.
Do you do it with anything else?
I'm trying to think.
I also do it with concealer. I have like
Yeah,
a
with
favorite
cosmetics.
concealer. And
Yeah.
I take like the older one and I put it like in a purse or my drawer at work for emergency
Right.
concealer.
I would say the
yes.
the closest thing I do to that behavior is like a deodorant.
Oh, okay.
I'll do that with, because that's one that I feel like sometimes I'll get caught without in a pinch. And I'll save like one where it's down to like the skeleton and you're just scraping fragrant plastic against yourself,
Yeah.
like armpit Zydeco. And
stuff
that
there.
I'll do that for sure. Like keeping a little, like
Yes.
the dregs of deodorant around in case of an emergency.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes me feel better, Josh. Thanks.
Yeah, I
happy
realize
to
I
help.
do it with cosmetics. Like if I open up a new mascara, I have trouble throwing away the old one but I might need it in an emergency. However, then I'm also always worried that I'm going to confuse the new one and the old one. So I take nail polish and I like draw a dot on the old one, and I never go back and use it. I also for like individual false eyelashes for the outside, like if I'm doing TV or something. If anyone has ever purchased Tony, Josh, I know you guys have probably purchased a lot of individual false eyelashes, but they come on like a little card. And there's always maybe a fifth of them that are just like mangled or deformed. And so you don't use those ones, but I never throw it out. I have like, you sound much more regimented with the way you keep your extras. I have just like a Ziploc bag full of ones that I should have thrown out, but I have them here in case I need them, even though I'll never use them.
Yeah, I think that I have a lot of stuff like that too. With cosmetics, I've recently made myself purge.
I mean, they say you're supposed to throw that stuff out like I don't do that at all, though. I have really
yeah.
old cosmetics around.
I
probably
just
bad.
finally like made myself throw away stuff. I used to work at a place that sold like organic cosmetics, and I was like, so I had like 10 eyeshadows I never really used.
Yeah,
And I was like,
if
you
it's
know, it's been
organic,
3
that
years.
especially
Yeah,
especially goes
you
bad.
shouldn't put this on your face.
right.
But it's tough. It's tough mascara, like every 3 months, I try and get a new tube. But with the pandemic, I don't wear mascara because it causes problems.
The only time I wear lipstick is when I do this show.
Yeah, same. Whenever I'm,
because I don't want to get it on my mask. Yeah. Josh, do you have a Just Mirror Everyone?
Sure. Yes. Oh shoot, I lost it. It was so weird that I'm sure. Oh, maybe other people do it for low stakes passwords, like for accounts that are like my password at like thegap.com or whatever, where it's like, sure, I should log in for free shipping, but it's not like, it's never an emergency. Like, it's never like, oh, if I can't get into the gap.com, I won't be able to pay my electric bill or whatever. So for low stakes passwords, my plan is like, I don't remember them. And then I just make a new one every time.
Yes.
I visit the site. I just go straight to, I'll be like, I feel like I was in a this password headspace last time I was at thegap.com, and I'm not sponsored by The Gap. It could be any place. But
it's like, it could be any place. It could be Old Navy. It could be Banana Republic.
Banana Republic.
They're all
Baby Gap. Any place. But, so I'll wing it, but like, I don't write them down anywhere. I don't use, like, my policy is just like, oh yeah, I forgot that password. Does anyone else play it that fast and loose?
I think a lot of people do.
Okay.
I was doing that for a long time. Mm-hmm. And then I found it so frustrating that I've started just using the suggested password. You can have them suggest. And then it's like, I will never, ever remember that. I don't even pretend that I'm going to remember that. But my computer will.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So this is the other thing.
But that's probably not safe.
I don't trust, like, I'm always worried that if I save my passwords in my computer, some agent of espionage is going to get a hold of it and just, use up all my Nike Plus user rewards points or whatever. And so I resist saving passwords. Like, I don't do the facial recognition on my phone because I was like, I don't want you to know what I look like, phone.
Yeah.
Well, I did use the finger one.
Do you use your camera?
Yeah. So it knows what I look like, but maybe it thinks I'm my dog.
That's true.
I take as many pictures of my dog as I take of myself. So I think it thinks that I'm a very advanced pug. But yeah, so I don't trust like password saving mechanisms a lot of the time. I don't trust like facial recognition stuff. But for some reason, I'm like, what's better is just constant chaos in the password department.
I totally hear you. In fact, I feel now that like I shouldn't have revealed that I even do that on my computer because who knows what can happen. I
feel like what I revealed, I don't know how anyone would take advantage of that because I always do like 2-factor authentication.
Same.
And so, yeah. So I feel like 3-factor. Holy shit. That's so many factors.
The third factor is, I change my identity and I move. I'm on the run.
A guy comes to your house and is like, the 6-digit authentication code is 164302.
Exactly. And I have to say it over and over really fast.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do that, but I check out as a guest all the time for
I love checking out as guests.
Accounts with. Like, I have purchased from the Gap before, and I could log in and they would have my purchase history, but instead of going through that, I just check out as a guest.
I check out as a guest all the time.
And then when I want to track the thing, I'm like, it actually would be so much easier if I had logged in. The only time I won't check out as a guest is if it autofills my email and my password because I don't want to I don't want to have to deal with it. Tony, you've been very quiet.
As guest.
Are you hacking us?
Yeah, exactly. I'm working on all that right now.
You're in the mainframe.
Exactly. I'm hacking into the mainframe. No, I don't. That's why I've been quiet. I don't really do any of this stuff. I will. I'll save the passwords, and I'll also usually kind of use the same passwords. Like maybe I'll rotate them every now and then. But yeah, I don't. But yeah, I'll also try and check out as guest, because making an account with anything is basically you saying, hey, email me 7 times a
But
day.
even when you check out as guest, they'll be like, what's your email? And it's like, oh, I know what game you're playing, you slimy fuck.
The worst part is when you check out with guest, you do more work. And I don't know why. Like, you still have to fill out all the stuff that is probably already in that account.
I get emails. I never too, like once every 5 years, I'll unsubscribe from stuff. And even that has like a 50% success rate where they'll just be like, he doesn't mean that. But like, he loves our emails. He's just playing hard to get. And they'll just keep emailing me. But there's places that I'm like, why would I? There's 3 kinds of places. There's places where it's like, okay, you got me. I will look at these emails and maybe make a purchase from them because I am a frequent customer. There's places
thegap.com.
Look, I'm not going to give away my secrets, but there are places where I've gone like to get a gift for someone that like I don't care about at all. Like, it's like a place I got my mom a massage gift card 9 years ago, and they email me every day. Like, is it your mom's birthday again? It's like, you know when it is. And then the other one is when you buy something that like you couldn't possibly need more than one of, and then you just get ads and emails for it all the time, where it's like, I just bought like a bed. Like,
right.
How many beds? Like, you know what I mean? Like, where you're like, so we saw you browsing for beds. Perhaps you'd like these beds. And it's like, you don't think if I was getting 2 beds, I would have just bought 2 beds?
I have an daily email from the Irish store because I bought a sweater from them 5 years ago. And I look at their emails all the time. And then I decide that I'm not worth a sweater from Ireland. And but I won't unsubscribe because one day I'm going to be like, I'm going to get that sweater.
I need that 20% off gift card.
Yeah.
In the 9 years, I get daily, maybe twice daily. You know what? You know who emails me all the time? Lids, the hat store. I get 2 a day from Lids. I bought a hat from them like 3 years ago, and it's like, I'm bald, but I've only got 1 head. I can't be buying hats daily. And the same with Hanes, where it's like, I bought 6 pairs of underwear 3 months ago, and they're every day. They're like, do you need more underwear? And it's like, you know damn well how often I buy underwear. Hanes.com. It's when the last underwear is just a hint of just a whisper between my pants and my legs.
Just a hoop of hope.
Hoop of hope. That's beautiful.
I think it's weird when you look at a website and then you leave and then you get an email from them and like, shh, we saw you browsing. It's like,
Well, what is this, a Craigslist missed connection? Stop following me.
I know.
Yeah.
That's what drives me crazy is if you do actually do the unsubscribe and then they send you an email to tell you that you unsubscribed. It's like, this is kind of defeating the point.
I don't trust you now.
Yeah. Or
But
when go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I had a really weird, just this past week, kind of took all this up a notch, and it wasn't even directly related to me. So for Josh and Alicia, because they don't know this about me, probably, I got divorced in the last year. Yay, fun. And there was some mail that came for my ex-wife last week. And it's nothing ugly, like we can communicate if we need to and everything. So I wrote her and I told her that some mail came and I like sent a picture of what it was. And she responded saying, oh, I thought I went on their website and changed my address. She's like, would you mind? She's like, will you just open it and tell me what it is? So I did. And I opened it up. They sent the letter here to say that they got the change of address for her.
Oh my goodness.
Now, help me.
Is it a bank?
No, it was not a bank.
Okay, because banks do shit like that.
Is the reason to do that in case your address was fraudulently changed? And so they send it to you to be like, I don't know if this is true.
I don't know.
maybe,
That's a good point, though, yeah.
Because they're like, look, someone changed your address, but we know that you live here still. We think you might still be living here. So we're going to send it to you. But other than that, you know how when you change your password on something, they'll send you an email that's like your password was changed, or like when you, so
log in
maybe
from a
it's
different
like that.
browser.
Yeah. Log in from a different browser. Classic. But changing your physical address, and then sending you snail mail to be like, you don't live here, right? Is like so ridiculous.
Yeah, like at the worst case scenario, or best case scenario, I guess, just send the email. Like if she did it online, send her the email saying we got the ad. Don't send physical mail.
How often, right? Because how often does that physical mail get to someone who changed their address at their old address, and they're like, thank God you've got this discrepancy. I changed my address. I thought I was going to move, but I didn't know what I was talking about.
All right, let's take a Just Me or Everyone from a listener. The Clevelander says, walking around in socks and then wearing them inside is disgusting and filthy, but walking around outside barefoot and then going inside is perfectly acceptable.
I feel the total opposite of that.
I don't like being barefoot.
I also don't like being barefoot.
There's no reason ever to be barefoot in a city. It's a very bad idea.
Yeah.
It's really disgusting. I don't understand. Does the person... I'm so sorry. I was thinking about something else. Was the person walking outside just in socks?
Walking around outside... Yeah, walking around outside in socks and then wearing them inside is disgusting and filthy.
What?
But
I was
walking
picturing
around
a sock inside a shoe. Just socks?
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's worse than walking around barefoot.
Preposterous. Yeah,
That's what they're saying. Yeah, but walking around outside barefoot and then going inside is perfectly acceptable. Yeah, I mean, I see what they're saying.
Are you just like in your backyard, or are you going grocery shopping?
Yeah. No, I don't think they're like going to the liquor store or anything.
Okay, I agree. If they're just like in the backyard and you go inside, that's fine. I mean, I have a dog. My house is filthy. It might look clean, but I have a dog. Which means
I have slippers by the door outside because I can't handle stepping outside in socks or barefoot, and then it's too dusty.
So you just go outside in slippers?
Yeah, but here, I'll hold one up. Hang on.
Okay. This is fascinating. Oh,
it's got a sole.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. That's a great idea.
I have a hard bottom slipper that I live in like an 8-unit building, and so I've occasionally worn my hard bottom slippers like down to get the mail.
Yeah,
in the front, and that doesn't seem wild. But like
I'm gonna
the
get
idea
a pair
of doing
of
that
those.
in socks, that doesn't seem right to me.
No.
I accidentally stepped in like a puddle, and it was deep enough to get my sock wet. And it was a puddle by the garbage can, so it was a garbage water puddle.
No!
Yeah.
And it was the sock just went in the garbage. The shoe went into the washing machine. It was crazy. And I was like, this is garbage water, and it's touched my sock now.
Disgusting. I hate that.
No.
It's a very wet city. It's a very wet city.
If I'm going outside in just socks, my house is on fire.
Yeah.
That's the only reason.
Yes.
I'm leaving.
They take on water. It's a bad idea.
They wick.
I'm leaving like it's the end of Fiddler on the Roof, and it's just like a sad song while I walk to a new city to live in.
Wow. So I've never seen anyone go outside just in their socks on purpose.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you're just grabbing mail or something.
I can't
That's so weird.
I don't even want to do that.
I can't understand this.
Why not barefoot then?
Yeah.
Clevelander, we're going to need a little more info.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this person, I do think, I was picturing sock in a shoe, and then you take off the shoe and your sock is sweaty, but just a sock. I guess on a technicality, I agree that if you were to do this thing that you should never do, yes, take off your socks when you get inside. It's covered in the earth. Don't do that.
That's disgusting.
I need to revisit, just for a second, I need to revisit Josh's shoe situation. So you post photos of your shoes often related to new episodes of your show.
Yes.
Jesus and Marrow.
Jesus and Marrow. Sundays and Thursdays at 11 on Showtime.
And you guys just won an award, the WGA award, right? Congratulations.
We won the WGA award. Yeah, last night they did a remote ceremony, and it was so thrilling. I'm so proud of our of our team and the whole bigger team that it takes, to make the show. It's not just the writers, but like so thrilling to be recognized. It was really overwhelming. I teared up. I wept a little bit. I was so drunk, but also delighted and overwhelmed with like happiness for my colleagues.
Congratulations.
And our team.
That is
Thank you.
awesome.
Yeah,
now,
congrats.
do you collect sneakers?
I do, like, I have a lot of sneakers, but I don't have sneakers that I don't wear. So I don't collect them in that way. Like, I don't have a whole setup for sneakers that are like, oh, these are the ones that I can never put on my feet because they're too rare or expensive, or I'm waiting for them to accumulate value or something.
How many pairs do you have, and like where do you keep them?
I have, it's got to be close to 50 pairs right now, but I'm eyeing like paring down by probably 20%. I have a bunch of shoes that are like, there's a few that are just like, oh, I'm hanging on to these because I like them, but they're really like kind of old and worn out. Or there's a couple that I'm like, I bought these like online and they don't fit super well, but I didn't return them. So I've only worn them a few times and like try to find a good home for them, sell them or donate them or find a friend that I can just give a pair to that were roughly the same size. So I have about 50 pairs currently. And the setup is, I have a bunch of pairs that are like the setup that Jesus has on the show. It's fairly similar with like kind of clear plastic boxes with a little door on the front that you can reach through and take the shoes out so you can see them, but also access them. And then a bunch of just stacked shoe boxes, like a second rampart next to my bed of shoe boxes.
And how early in meeting your now wife did she discover your shoe collection?
This was, I think it started like as we were getting together. Maybe, no, that's not even true. It started after, like a year into us being together. So it really didn't even start till we lived together.
A bait and switch.
It was a bait and switch. She thought I was a guy with like 3 pairs of shoes, and I showed her.
And also, where is Busy the Pug right now?
She is. So it's not that late. But I got a text probably 40 minutes ago from my wife that was like, LOL, we're in bed. So they're like in bed. They're probably, Maris is probably reading, but they might be asleep by now. I cannot stress to you that we were drunk for an award show that we were not at because there wasn't a physical, like it was all pre-taped, but we pre-gamed and then we gamed and then we were delighted. And so we're both like hungover from watching a live stream of this thing. So, which is, that's like I'm old now.
It's official.
So yeah, they're in bed.
And Alicia, where's Hank?
That's a really good question. Oh, he's sleeping. He's
okay.
Well, he's listening. He's looking at me. He's I don't know if you'll be able to see him, but
everyone on this show has an adorable dog.
Yeah,
I
he's
saw
sleeping
Bentley
on his rug. He's freaked out about this spring cleaning. Bentley,
the
little turkey dog.
Yeah, I saw Tony's Bentley like leaning into the
He's right here
toward the window earlier.
Oh, that's a good little guy.
Oh my god! How much does he weigh?
He is 32 pounds.
Oh,
He's a
not that
big
much.
Frenchie.
Of smush.
Can you hear the snorting?
Hi,
No.
Bentley,
Turned
you're
away.
so cute.
It's drowning it out like it's like Zoom is drowning it out like it's construction like 3 houses down.
Yeah.
I want to pick up Hank and bring him to the screen, but I don't
Okay.
think he'd like that. Do you want me
Oh,
to?
okay. If you wouldn't like that, no, I don't want to put Hank out.
Hank, do you want to come visit? Oh, hi.
Josh, next time you're on, we'll do it earlier so we can have a busy appearance.
Yeah, I could have brought her at the beginning too. I just like didn't. I was not on top of things.
That's okay. All right, and this is our last one. Ray Morgan says, can't take a shower with a full stomach. I think I could if I needed to, but I get that. I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to be like, and this reveals self-loathing, but I wouldn't want to be like alone with my body if I've got a full stomach. You know?
I don't think
Never
it's
really
yeah.
thought about it.
No, I don't think it's. I've thought about it, but I wonder if he feels nauseous.
Maybe.
He feels kind of sick thinking about it, but I don't know.
Like, I'm not reading this as full stomach, like, oh, I had a healthy meal and I feel satiated. I'm thinking like a Thanksgiving dinner. Like, totally stuff where you just want to be prone.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, it makes sense to me. I've just never thought of it before.
Yeah.
Yeah, same. Like, I guess in those scenarios, I don't really want to get off the couch. But if I like had to take a shower for some reason, I could.
I think I
can't
could
see
too.
it being a problem.
You'd feel better afterwards, actually.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I almost always feel better after a shower. Like, even if I just took one 2 hours ago, like if I'm sick or whatever, I'll shower like over and over again. Just it's like, I don't know, is this anything? like turning off your heating pad and turning it back on.
Right. It's such a good way to like press reset on your mood. I say, as someone who I spend so much time lately just like, am I going to take a shower today? I don't know. I don't really feel like it. I don't really, like I have a real issue with getting myself into the shower. Tony famously takes a shower right when he gets up every single day. Oh. And he wears shoes every day too. What a hero.
Yep. As soon as I get out of the shower, shoes on. And they
You put on shoes right after you get out of the shower?
Yep. And then they come off right before I go to bed.
Oh, wow.
Again, the barefoot thing even kind of applies to just socks. Unless maybe I had like a day where I did like a shitload of walking or something, then maybe I'll take the shoes off. But I prefer having shoes on.
Mm-hmm. I get that. I shower first thing. My shower schedule is very variable. For sure. I'm not like a multiple shower a day person when I'm, unless I've like done some kind of physical exertion that I showered before already too. Or like if I get up, and I'm traveling, right. And I might shower like in the morning and then shower when I get to my destination. Cause I feel like the plane seat sweat on my back is like it's a specific kind of gritty sweat.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's also nice to shower in nice hotel rooms with fluffy white
that's fun.
towels. I miss that.
And robes.
The first thing I do is walk the dog. The very first thing I do is I go to the bathroom and brush my teeth. And then the second thing I do is take the dog outside. And then I have a cup of tea and then I shower.
That's nice.
Yeah.
My dog goes for a walk. Like, she'll be going out in a few hours. She goes in the middle of the night and then like 11 a.m. And then in the evening. Yeah. But she demands to go out at like 2 a.m. every night.
Weird.
And then she eats breakfast. Yep.
Wait, she eats breakfast at 2 a.m.?
Yeah.
I have a friend whose dog used to do that.
Yep.
I have a lot of questions. But she always like this?
No.
Okay.
It changed just under 2 years ago.
And did she get sick? Is she older?
She's older. Yeah.
Okay.
And what happened for a while over the summer is like she would get fussy, and she sleeps in bed with us. So she would get fussy and we'd take her out of bed, and we didn't just want to like feed her, because then it would set the precedent that like anytime she was fussy, she would expect to be like just fed a meal. So I would like sleep on the couch for a while, and I would put her like on another, we have 2 little love seats, and I would put her on one, and I would sleep on one like dangling over the sides. And it was a nightmare for like the whole summer. And then we realized that pretty much reliably, because sometimes we would put out food and she wouldn't even want it. She would just fuss. But if we take her for a walk, bring her back in, do like our regular, like coming inside from a walk treat regimen, give her a meal, then she would finish, and then we put her back into bed, and she almost always falls like immediately back to sleep.
Oh, it's so sweet. So sweet.
It's very sweet. But that's been every night for the last 20 months minus like 5 nights.
Wow. So
Who walks her at 2?
I usually walk her just because like going outside in the middle of the night and like just like ambling around. I think it just feels a little like putting out like dude energy into the night it just feels a little
safer.
Better. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I get up. It's usually between 2 and 3, but like the last couple nights it's been closer to 1. So I'll like go to sleep. Sometimes if I go to bed late, like there's a Celtics game on tonight. So if I watch that and then take a little while to wind down, it's basically like I nap and then I wake up and take the dog out and then I sleep.
Oh.
Wow.
I do anything for my dog, so it makes perfect sense.
Mm-hmm. Totally. I don't know what else to do. Like we tried, you know what I mean? So it's just like, I guess this is what life is as long as this dog is with us and we love her.
Yeah.
But at least this is like a nice, predictable routine, so you can, work around it as opposed to if it was changing every night.
That first summer was really bad. Like when she like we didn't have a routine that would like reliably get her back to sleep. When it was just like, do you want to sleep on the couch? Do you want like what if we go for a walk and don't have breakfast? Like once we found that groove, it's been like so much more manageable. But wow, that first like couple of months of just like trying everything until we found out like what worked most reliably, it was like I was like, I guess I'll just never sleep and then I'll die.
That is like having a baby.
Mm-hmm.
And she's a pug?
She's a pug.
Oh, so cute.
She turns 14 this summer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
She has her own Instagram account, right?
She does. It's at Bizzy, B-I-Z-Z-Y, the pug.
She's very cute.
She's a cutie. Yeah. She's like a fussy, distinguished old lady.
You guys, thank you so much for coming on.
Pleasure.
If you would like to send in your Just Me or Everyone, tweet it to the show's Twitter feed at ARIYNBF. Please follow us or follow me on social media at Allison Rosen, Twitter and Instagram. I would like to say hello and welcome to my new patrons. Jill Poo 3 has signed up for an annual subscription. Oh yeah, I should say I offer an annual subscription on Patreon. So if you want to sign up for a year, you get 2 months free. So it's 12 months for the price of 10. You can't afford not to unless you don't want to, in which case that's totally fine too. I would also like to welcome Joe C. Richie G has signed up for an annual subscription, and I would also like to welcome Adriana C. or maybe it is Adriana. I don't know, but welcome to all of you. I hope you guys are enjoying all of the Patreon stuff. Patreon.com/Allison Rosen. Also, I'm on Cameo, and I have been spending all my time curating my Amazon lists. If you would like to shop products that I personally use and recommend and like, Amazon.com/shop/Allison Rosen. Amazon.com/shop/Allison Rosen. We were talking about cosmetics earlier. You can see all the cosmetics that I use, all my makeup, my podcast equipment, stuff I recommend for the kids, for the dog, for the house, for the home. Daniel's Corner, all that stuff is there. If you like what you're hearing, please rate, review, subscribe, tell your friends, leave us a nice comment, click 5 stars. I read them on the show sometimes. And I already mentioned YouTube and Childish. And I think that's all my stuff. We got to find out all the guest stuff. Alicia, what should everyone look out for? Where can everyone find you?
You can follow me on Twitter at Alicia A. Tobin. You can listen to my podcast, Retail Nightmares. We're almost at episode 300. 300 is being recorded in 2 days.
Nice.
You can buy my book, So You're a Little Sad, So What? Nice Things to Say to Yourself on Bad Days and Other Essays. You can follow my Outfit of the Day account. It's called Farmer Ma'am, because I love farm-style clothes. Or you could follow me at Alicia Tobin, which is a picture of Hank on Instagram, but you have it's private, so you have to ask and then tell me that you're not a creep, and then I accept you. Which people do follow those instructions, so thank you.
Thank you, Josh.
I'm at Josh Gondelman on Twitter and Instagram. I have a book called Nice Try, Stories of Best Intentions and Mixed Results, if you're interested in that kind of thing. I have a podcast called Make My Day. It's a comedy game show with one contestant every week, so the contestant always wins. And Jesus and Marrow, Sundays and Thursdays on Showtime. I think that's, and I have stand-up albums too that you can find wherever you listen to things, Bandcamp, Apple Music, Spotify. And if you want to know more than that about me, I am surprised. Yeah.
And Tony?
Twitter and Instagram at
Tony Thaxton.
And my podcast, Bizarre Albums, every Tuesday. And if you have not yet checked out the Justin Pierre solo EP, I played drums on that, so check that out. It's streaming anywhere that you can stream things. He was the singer of Motion City Soundtrack. And yeah, that's all my stuff right now.
Thank you guys so much. This was so much fun. Listeners, thank you so much for listening. I love you. You matter. Goodbye.
Hey, do you know about the Allison Rosen Show? gotta go.